Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be in the world, and welcome to Gift of Healing TV. And I am delighted for this program to be joined by Krisztina Konya. Krisztina is going to share with us the importance of loving yourself. Krisztina, thank you so much for joining us for this program today.
Oh, Sara Jane, hello everyone. And Sara Jane, thank you so much for having me and for your invitation. It's really, really awesome to be here with you today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you. Let me introduce you to Krisztina slightly more fully, and then I'm going to let her do some more of that. Krisztina is a deeply passionate person who believes that we are all destined for greatness and we all can be successful in all areas of our lives. The first step in achieving success is to unleash the power of self-love and to know ourselves well, to have a good understanding of who we really are. She is an authentic leadership, success, and empowerment coach. Krisztina has a solid academic background with a degree in business management and is a spiritual life coach. She is also the host of the Truth Runners talk show, where participants share real-life stories to inform, educate, and empower others. And I should know, she invited me to be one of the guests. Thank you. Her mission is to encourage women to find their path towards empowerment, to hold the space for them to achieve this by giving them some of the most valuable and practical tools that helped her personally with her journey towards self-development, self-love, and growth. And that is beautiful because it is about our journey, isn't it?
Yes, it is true. And thank you so much for introducing me so nicely. I'm like, really, when someone else is reading that, it sounds like, who's that girl?
I get
that. So thank you, really. And yes, it is our journey, really. Knowing ourselves, loving ourselves. It's a lifelong journey, basically. So I think it's really the basic, and we have to have a really, really strong foundation for everything, for this, in order to get to everything else.
Yeah. And so starting this off, will you share a little of your story? How you come, I suppose, for this to be your journey?
I will really, really try to keep this short because, I am at an age where I could, when I sit, I could talk like for hours, but I'm going to try to make it really short. I was born in a communist country, really, where I have been taught as a girl that I should have to learn to cook, clean, be a good mom, a good wife, and to be silent. And then on my teenage years, as I grow up and, the revolution happened, sorry, a lot of things changed. And we find out that actually it's not just Romania, the country where I was born, there is other countries in this big world and other cultures, and we open up, and music, television, parties came in our lives. So I started to live a really, really self-destructive life. So whoever is a teenager, please be really mindful what you are doing on your teenage years, because it will follow you throughout your adulthood. And then I ran away from home 2 times. I've been homeless. I lived on the streets of Budapest for a couple of days, and I said, this is not possible. I cannot live on the streets. I need to pull myself together. I did. I got a job. I started to work. I got a house to rent. I met my partner. Then after a while, we had our daughter. We moved to London. I learned a lot, especially in London. And in really, really a tiny nutshell, this is my journey. It's from being a rebel teenager to being a homeless to starting off a business, running a business, going broken, starting all over again, and learning along the way, blaming everyone in the beginning until I learned there's no one to blame. And here I am today, really, really trying only just to hold the space for everyone who are willing to change, for everyone who are feeling there is something more in this life, but they don't know how to start, where to start, or what's going to be the next step. And this is what I'm doing now. This is how I've got here on this journey.
And it's so important. Thank you for sharing that, because so there are, about our stories, there are some aspects of it that aren't necessarily that easy to share. But self-worth is self-love is essential, but I think we have to start somewhere. Do we start with self-worth? Do we start with self-love? And for me, there was that light bulb, that pivotal moment when I thought, why am I worrying about what other people think about me when they're not? They've got all the stuff that's going on in their own lives. And if you're a people pleaser, if you're a worrier, what was your light bulb moment? Did you have a light bulb moment? What was it?
Yeah, I love what you're saying, and I so much recognize myself in the people pleasing part, especially. I was raised, to kind of please everyone. Being a girl, you have to please your parents, your grandparents, then your teachers, everybody, and then as an adult, you are going to do the same. And you put everybody else in front of you. It was when actually my daughter was born in 2011 when I've got in a very, very bad shape. I was anxious. When a child is born, everybody's expecting you to be a happy mom and, and then all is pink and shiny and bubbly. But for me, the first 2 years, actually, it was really, really difficult. I've been in depression. I've been really, really anxious. I felt that I'm not a good mom. I cannot grow. I'm not fulfilling my job, I would say, like a mom. Until a point when I stopped and I said, what are you doing, Krisztina? Why are you doing this to yourself? That child needs you. That child needs to grow up, and you want to be there for her. And if you are continue doing this stress and anxiety and depression and I'm this and that, you're going to just knock out yourself, basically. And I didn't want that. Actually, when I realized that, okay, in this life, it's more for me. I am more than that. I am more than a stressed, depressed, anxious mom. And I started my research. I started my work. I started the work, how I like to say. It's an ongoing process. I think it will take a lifetime. But the more I find out about myself, about who I am, the more I love who I am, right? The more I know my own worth. I didn't know. I had no idea when someone asked me, I read the term self-worth and I started to count in money, in an amount. Okay, how would I value myself? How stupid is that? I didn't know. And the more you get to know yourself, you dive deep, and the more you put the baggage, the luggage is out, and the more you clean yourself, everything is going to get more lighter. The doors will open. And really, truly, life is beautiful. But we do not see, because we don't want to see that life is beautiful. We only see the bad part. We only see the shadow side of it. Especially when you are on that, I'm anxious, I'm depressed, and you label yourself with all these stuffs. It's so familiar. It's so it's not comfort zone, it's not good, but it's familiar, that you don't even want to try something else, not in the beginning. And that was the moment when my daughter was born, I said, okay, I'm going to change. I need to change for her. That was my reason why in the beginning. But then I was like, okay, she's my daughter. She came to my life to teach me something. She taught me that the most important person in my life before her, it's me.
Yeah. If we don't take care of ourselves, how can we be there for others? Eventually, we will just drain that pot. But there was something that you sort of said that really struck to me, and it's the meaning and our understanding the meaning of words. Self-worth.
Yeah.
Self-worth doesn't have, to me, anything to do with money.
No.
Are we worthy of the love we give to others? Are we worthy of the caring and the thought, the consideration we give to others? You know, worth is so much more than financial. Yes, there's no two ways about it. We do have to have a financial self-worth, but that's not the priority. That is not, for me, the place to start. So it's thinking about the words. What are the meanings we've always perceived of being for that word? And what other meanings could they actually have?
True. I love that. I love that you put it this way, because for me, and what I'm always saying is self-worth is nothing else but the way how you see yourself, how you value yourself, how valuable you think you are. And I'm not talking about financial part, how lovable you are, how much you respect yourself.
Yeah.
That's the self-worth, the way how you perceive who you are, the way how you see yourself. That's your self-worth. And if someone would ask me, what is your most valuable asset? I would say me, because I know my worth. I'm worthy. Now I know my worth. I didn't. It was a time when I had no idea, as I said a little bit earlier, I didn't even know what does that mean. But the most valuable asset in my life is me, because you can take away the money, you can take away the car, the house, the bed, everything, but you cannot take away my knowledge, my experience, my wisdom, and who I am. So I'm taking care of me, right? Because I am the most valuable person for me. All I know, all I am is here in this body. The body is just one part of it, because I have a mind and I have a soul, and here we go on the triangle. So I take care of all these three. This is how I perceive self-worth. That's self-worth, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And self-sabotage. Self-sabotage, to me, that is us not knowing our worth. It is, we teach people how to treat us. And the self-sabotage comes in when we allow people to mistreat us.
True.
And we say, oh, don't worry about it, that's okay. No, it's not. It is really important to be able to turn around to people and say no.
That's really, really hard in the beginning. It's very hard. One of the main self-saboteurs, for me in my case, as I'm seeing in many, many people, is the people-pleasing tendency. And then there is and perfectionism. These are all self-saboteurs, but let's go to the people-pleasing one because that's a major, major self-saboteur, really. Not daring to say no. When we were very young, that we have to please others, that as an adult, in your business, in your relationship, the first thing what we do is we tend to please others. And only then, after a while, we start to think, oh, that wasn't right. But we do nothing because we are afraid that if we speak our truth and we speak our mind, then someone will get mad, sad, anxious, hurt. And we do not want that to other people. We do it for ourselves. We do it to ourselves. Because the person who hurts the most, we hurt the most. And people-pleasing tendency, it's really one of our biggest self-saboteurs. And it took me a really, really long time and hard work until I learned to say my first no. And I've learned that it is what I always say, start with really, really, really small steps. When a friend of yours invites you to a coffee, but you would rather stay and have a bubble bath, for example, but you still say, oh yes, of course we are going to a coffee because you don't want her or him to get mad or sad, or maybe she's not going to love you anymore for that, then you choose to have a coffee, right? And my very first no was to a coffee invitation to have a coffee. I felt so bad. I was sweating, my palms were sweaty and my heart was racing, and I was thinking, oh my God, what she's going to say about me now? She's going to say that I'm not her friend, that I'm not love her, that I don't love her. But nothing really happened. And I was like, okay, nothing really happened. I started with the second no. I started with bigger no's. And the more I said no to things, what took away my energy and my time, the more I could focus on what was important for me. I had a little bit more time to have that bubble bath, which is self-care. It's a tool, right, for self-love. I had a little bit more time to read the books I'm loving to read. I had a little bit more time to listen to those people who I consider my mentors, because I was growing, I was developing, and I was looking, for knowledge. I was searching for wisdom and everything. And I had more time for me to do what I love, to do what passionates me. So really, I like to say the art of saying no. It's not difficult. You just have to start somewhere. And this is how, this people-pleasing tendency, slowly, you can get rid of it. And focus more on the person, the most important person, you. Loving yourself, saying no to others, knowing your self-worth is really, really, people think that this is selfish. And I've heard that so many times, and I experienced it myself. You know that, Sara Jane, we talk about this a lot. And I thought that oh my God, I'm selfish, I'm getting anxious and, sweating and palms and all the stuff. But it's not. It's not. Because when you really love yourself, you understand yourself, and you give yourself permission, your vibration change, your mood change, and your entire environment will change with you. So those 5 people pleasers, please, to learn to say a gentle no, slowly.
I think really, for me, I'll come back to self-finish a second, but when you learn to say no to others, have you really understood how much of a gift that is to them? Because when you are constantly saying yes, especially for people who want you to do stuff for them.
Oh, yes.
They are not standing on their own 2 feet.
Absolutely.
And you are holding 2 people back when you are always saying yes. Them and you. So you've just given a perfect example of that. You've now had that time to read the books you wish to read, listen to the things you wish to listen to. That's your growth. That's your journey. You can't do that and do for others. And I put it this way. I am not here to do anything for anybody. I am here to support you to help yourself. Selfish, and I know I've shared this before, the true meaning of the word selfish. I've just said no to you for whatever reason, and you don't have to give a reason. And you turn around to me and say, you are so selfish.
Yeah.
Now may I ask you the real question? Who is the selfish one? The person who's being true to themselves and said no because it doesn't resonate, it's not right for them, or the person who's just basically told you that you should be doing what you don't want to do, that you don't like doing, because they want you to. Think about how we use that word selfish. It has been totally abused in the past. And just like I was saying about the word worth earlier, that selfish has had its meaning distorted. So I'm sure you've got some feedback to give us on that.
Wow, actually, there are quite a lot of things while you were talking just came in my mind. And first thing, I'm gonna 2 or 3 things. What I would love to say is about when you say no to someone else, you are doing a favor not just to yourself, really, and having the time for yourself, but for them.
Yeah.
I'm going back again to myself. From my experience, I used to do a lot of things for a lot of people. I used to do homeworks, essays, works, and stuff like that. And I saw that I'm helping them. But the truth is, the reality, because when I learned to say no, miracle, they were able to do it by themselves.
Wow.
And that's their growth. That's their journey. So when yes, it was like I'm kind of blocking them to grow, to move forward, to learn new things, to try out new things, because Krisztina was there doing it for them. But I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And actually this brings me to the question, what exactly it means to love unconditionally and love right? How do we love in a right way someone? Because when we always do everything for them, we say always yes to every query, every question, is that really love?
Mm.
It's not, because we are not allowing them. We are not allowing them to grow, to experience, to try, to fall and learn the lesson. It's really important to understand that saying no to someone and stopping, stopping this people-pleasing tendency, it's good not just for me, but for the other part as well. It's really important. And it's hard. It's hard in the beginning because we are really conditioned. But it's essential for growth, for both, for my growth and the growth of the other person. Say, okay, oh, you're not coming, you are selfish. As you said, really. Because remember, we are nothing else but just a reflection of each other. We are mirroring each other. What I'm seeing in you, it's in myself. What something triggers me in you. I mean, listen, you trigger me, but that's within me. You, nothing from outside of me can make me happy, angry, sad. Nothing comes from the external world. Everything comes from within. And then when you start the journey and when you start the work, then you're just going to sit down with yourself again, the most important person in your life, and ask the questions. Why that person made me angry? What's the trigger? What's the root? Let's find the root cause behind, and then the work really starts. Oh, I'm so sad. She made me sad. No one makes you sad. Sit down, close your eyes, breathe, ask guidance, and go back, go deep, and find the trigger, find the root cause. Why? What happened that the person makes you sad, really? Nothing is external. Nothing. Everything comes from within. And when someone said, okay, yeah, you are like this or you are like that, or it's really, it's not, I've learned not taking anything personally. It's not to me. Oh, I used to cry a lot, and I used to be really, really anxious about what people, were saying to me. And people, they can be really mean sometimes, especially when they want something from you. Oh, and then when your emotional part is leading, when the emotions are leading, you can be very easy let yourself be manipulated in this case, right? But again, my question is, the one who asks and manipulates you, or you the one who allows the other person to manipulate you? Who's the person? Both.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I suppose it gives there's a piece of understanding emotions, releasing trapped emotions. And that's what this is about, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It is about when something is triggered, it is about what is saying to you, time to deal with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that we can then, because the importance of loving yourself, and that's obviously the title of our program, and we've sort of used those words once, I think, at the very beginning, and we haven't touched on the loving yourself. But what I would obviously like to say at that point is, all of this is about loving ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I completely agree with you, because we were talking about the self-worth, right? About people-pleasing tendencies, self-saboteurs, about learning to say no. All these things all goes back to loving yourself. And why is it important to love yourself, really? Because, as I said a little bit earlier, you are the most important person in your life. You have body, a mind, and a soul. When you look in the mirror, the person who is looking back at you, who's that person? It's you. The way how you feel about yourself, the way how you love yourself, you love who you are, and the way how you respect yourself. To give yourself respect is the way how you teach, how you show to others to love and respect you, and how to treat you. It can be in your relationship, it can be any kind of relationship, personal or business, in every areas of your life, because you are resonate, your frequency, there's something what we must understand, and I think we all know that we are energy, we are frequency. When we vibrate low, we feel anxious about, we are not happy with ourselves, and it's harsh words what I'm going to say, but you hate the person who is looking back to you in the mirror. And then you are the one who have expectations from others to understand you, to love you, and to respect you. That's why loving yourself is the very first step when you start this journey of healing or spirituality, or name it, or transformation, name it whatever name you want to give it to it. To understand that loving yourself is not selfish. You don't have to be guilty about it. It's elementary. It's basic, right? And when I say loving yourself, I'm not talking about the narcissistic stuff. I mean, those people are the ones who need the most love. I'm talking about really getting to understand who you are. Getting to understand not really what is your purpose, but where you are going in life. It's about you doing the inner work, understanding your emotions, your feelings, the triggers behind. And here I will go to the trapped emotions you were talking a little bit about, because emotions, unspoken words, not, all the things what you are holding back, it's stored somewhere. Now, where it is stored? It's not external. It's not something outside of you. You don't say out a word you want to say. You don't say a sentence. You don't say that no. What you so much wanted to say, but you don't say it out loud, it's going to stuck in your body. It's going to stuck somewhere in your body. And after a while, just to give you a tiny short example, you just realize that, oh, my neck hurts, and I can't talk, and I have problems with my neck, with my throat. Of course you have, because all those unspoken words are there. And you have to release them. You have to learn. There are a lot of tools, techniques, energy healing, Reiki. You know that, Sara Jane, that these emotions can be really, really released. You find yourself complaining about, oh, my back hurts. It hurts here between the shoulders. Oh, really? Let me ask you, what kind of baggages, what kind of stuffs you are carrying with you? Some of them are not even yours. Some of them, many of them. Put them down, go within, find out, oh, this is not mine. This is not my problem. I'm carrying it with me because I've pleased others. I listened to someone. I didn't want to, but I listened, and I took everything from them and I put it here. And then you are, oh, I don't know why my back hurts. But that's why your back hurts, because the emotions, all the not released stuff, it's getting there stuck in your body. Every cell of our body has memories. We think not just with our mind and emotions, feelings, that goes just here in heart, it goes everywhere in our body. And the body, that's why this triangle, that's why we said body, mind, and soul, really. They are all connected. If one is not imbalanced, then there is imbalance, there's not balance. And in our lives, we are the ones who create imbalance, right? But at the same time, if we created the imbalance, we can put the balance back. We can help and we can, build back the balance. We do not need, I've heard people think, oh, you need to be fixed. No one needs to be fixed. You are not broken. You just have to rediscover who you are and, put down all the things what are not belongs to you. It's not yours. Know your emotions. Allow yourself, give yourself the permission to feel every emotion you want to feel. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to shout, shout. If you want to laugh because you're happy, then do that. Don't hold back, because every, especially negative emotions, vibrating on a lower, frequency, on a spiral, every negative emotion, everything is going to be trapped in the body. And sooner or later, the body will say, you don't want to listen to me, I'm going to shut down. And that's where you became ill. And then you are wondering, and you are asking the wrong question. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Why am I ill? Because I'm a good person. I've done everything to everybody. Well, that's the reason. That's the reason why you are ill. That's the reason why your body hurts, and that's the reason why your body shuts down, because it's like, okay, enough. So loving yourself really, it's the most essential and most important thing. It's everything starts with you. Everything.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things at the very beginning for me, or towards the beginning, was realizing that everybody in this world is special, that no one is more or less special than anybody else in our own unique way, because we are not the same. And so I came up with an affirmation. I am special. I love me. Now, when I first started saying that, and I still use it on a daily basis, when I first started saying that, I did not believe it. But I did eventually, probably a couple of years later, but I did eventually think one morning, do you know what? I do believe that now. I really do. And when a client one time said to me, and client that knew me pretty well, and knew I'd said this about being special, and everybody is. And she said to me, she said, oh, you are special. And I looked at her, I said, I know.
That's beautiful.
But she knew that there was absolutely no conceit behind that at all, because I accept that I am an amazingly unique being, as is each and every one of you. Now, obviously, that is just a suggestion. One of the other things that came to me in a session with a client was, I am the love of my life.
Oh, that's a nice one too.
And I knew it was for the client, but I also knew that it was for me and for everybody else in this world. Again, you can use it as an affirmation. The I am is so powerful. You don't have to believe it. Now, okay, I've just given you a couple of simple things which are affirmations, and they take time. It isn't just a matter about saying them once in a day, because if you do that, it'll take a very long time. It's repeating them over quite a number of times. And I've made it a part of a getting up routine. So I do this every day, and I still do it every day, because it helps to bolster that energy within me. Krisztina, have you got a couple of little suggestions that maybe could help folks with this process? Because it's not easy to go from this people pleasing and thinking, actually, I am worthy. I am worth caring for. I am worth considering. It's not easy to go from that, I'm not even at the bottom of the pile. I don't exist. I've slipped off the bottom of the pile, to being, actually, no, I'm actually meant to be right here at the top of the pile, because then I can really support others. So have you got any little suggestions? And I know what I would actually say, folks, is we haven't come to the end yet, and we haven't finished yet. But if you're interested in contacting Krisztina, please do. Krisztina, how do they get hold of you?
If you resonate with me and you would love to get in touch, please then visit my website, which is www.kristinakonya.com, or you can find me on Facebook on my name, Krisztina Konya. Just send me a message, and I used to say, I'm always just a message away if you would love to get in touch with me. Thank you.
Brilliant. Now I've put that in the chat. I will make sure it's, if you're watching this on YouTube, please, I'll make sure that it's underneath the video on YouTube as well. So do connect with Krisztina. So Krisztina, have you got a couple of little tips that you would like to share?
Yes, I love your question, and I love that you are asking that, because I've met people who said, Krisztina, I'm feeling so miserable. I'm really low. How do you think that I can say that I love myself? And how should I love myself when I've done this and that? Here's the thing I'm telling you. You are not broken. You don't have to be fixed. Love is the highest possible frequency in this whole universe. My mantra, as you had the I am affirmations, my I am affirmation is I am love and I am light. Find your affirmation. Change the stories what you are telling yourself in your mind about I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. Find one. Find something that you are good at and say, I am good in this. I am a loving person. I love my blue eyes or green eyes or whatever. Start with one sentence. Just look in the mirror. But looking in the mirror, really, not just look, but actually see. Try and see that person who is looking back at you in the mirror. It might not go easy in the beginning, really. For me, it was really difficult. I could see all wrinkles and all stuff, but then when you really look deep down in your own eyes, you will see that within, and if you look in your eyes, you will see that there is something else, what I love to call the soul. And that's what I would lovingly like to ask you to connect with, because that's the one who's going to guide you. It will instantly give you the affirmation what you are looking for, and it will instantly give you the answer. Your soul is the one who is waiting for you to connect, really. So find your own affirmation. As I said, my one is I am love and I am light. And I really would love if you could share, if you find your affirmations, that would be a really good idea to share that with us as well. What is your first affirmation? What is your first I am affirmation that comes from your heart and you think that it's a good starting point in your journey?
So a good place for that would be to go to your Facebook page.
Absolutely, please do share. I'm really, really genuinely curious. What is your I am? What is your really first I am? Because at the end of the day, when you start your journey, and we are on this journey for a long time now, I think, Sara Jane, you will find that I am is the all. And when you get there, that's going to be beautiful. When you get to understand that you are all, and we are all, and we are one, that's worth everything. It worth the journey, and it worth the pain, and it worth the work, and it worth everything. Just start trusting that person who you live with you.
Oh, absolutely. And it is all about, when I say us, me, you.
Me, absolutely.
It is. We're coming to the end of the program. One final question for you. Is there anything that you'd like to share that we might have missed?
Yeah, actually, there is just one tiny thought what I really quickly would love to share is knowing your why. Knowing your why do you want to start a new journey? Why do you want to know yourself? What is your motivation? Knowing your why, it will give you a real push. Because when you know your why, the what and the how, it will simply reveal itself to you. It will come. You will download it. It will come. Opportunities will come. Just know your why. Why do you want that business? Why do you want that relationship? Why do you want that house, that car, let it be anything. So make sure, and it is important again, that at the beginning of your journey, you know your why. Why is it that I'm starting this journey? Why I do want to love myself? And that's going to be, again, really powerful. Because when you know your why, as I said, the what and the how especially, it will reveal. Because the first question what people ask is usually how. How I get there, how I do this. No, just turn the order. Make a turnaround and find your why.
Brilliant. Thank you so very much for sharing with us the program today. It's been a real pleasure. And folks, we really do mean it. if you've got a question or you'd like to connect with Krisztina, please do. The same goes with me, sort of, we're here for you.
Absolutely.
Gift of Healing TV, everything we share is here for you. So Krisztina, thank you so much. Next week, we've got a today's conversation, and Krisztina was on with us a few weeks ago, and that's going to be forgiveness, a journey of courage to a place of freedom and power with Kellen Flukiger. That was a program that unfortunately we had huge technical issues, so we weren't able to bring that to you, so we have got that resorted. And then the following week, transformation and numerology with Suzanne Lane. So we're going to be sharing that as well. So over the next couple of weeks, that's what we've got for you. Krisztina, it has been a real pleasure.
Thank you so much
for sharing so much love with us all.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really, really a pleasure. I'm really, really happy. I love you, Sara Jane, and I love you guys. And as always, I'm just sending all my love and light to everyone.
Thank you so much. Love, peace, and light to you all. Namaste. Bye-bye.